I saw this post and I thought it was very important to check out and look at. So here we have all of the places that Chainlink is working with, or organizations, and where the Link token will be used. So you got the U.S. Department of Commerce. We'll dive deeper into that one. SWIFT, that's the banking system. DTCC, not quite sure. We got to dive deeper on that one. BNY Mellon Bank, JP Morgan Bank, US Bank, Euroclear, ANZ Bank, State Street, Invesco. These are big investment platforms. If you ever heard of QQQ, the NASDAQ ETF, that's Invesco. Then we have the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, Clearstream, Citi, BNP Paribas, Lloyd's Banks. And we ain't talking about the rapper Lloyd Banks. We're talking about Lloyd's Bank, Deutsche Banks, Australia and New Zealand Banking Group. That's a lot of collaborations right there. Now, if you want to really get excited, I think this is where the excitement begins. We're excited to announce that Chainlink and the United States Department of Commerce have worked together to bring U.S. government macroeconomic data on chain from the Bureau of Economic Analysis. These new Chainlink data feeds securely deliver critical information around key U.S. economic data on chain, including gross domestic product, personal consumption expenditures, price index, and real final sales to private domestic purchasers. That's a whole lot of data from the U.S. government. What does that mean? The U.S. government is purchasing Chainlink services. Bringing U.S. government data on chain unlocks innovative use cases for blockchain markets, such as automated trading strategies, increased composability of tokenized assets, the issuance of new types of digital assets, inflation-linked products, perpetuals futures markets, real-time prediction markets for crowdsourced intelligence, transparent dashboards powered by immutable data, and DeFi protocol risk management based on macroeconomic data. And we know Chainlink is built, its token is built on the Ethereum protocol. We know Ethereum is ironclad in terms of security and immutability. Ain't no change in Ethereum. And we know the Chainlink token is all a part of its ecosystem for pricing, for data feeds, the security, to making sure everything is transparent, the staking, and even eventually they might have on-chain governance. So here it is, all the list right here. The U.S. government macroeconomic data, the data type and data descriptions. U.S. Department of Commerce via Chainlink, and then this data can be put on to any blockchain that is secure. We're going to talk about one blockchain in a moment that is already a part of this process. So this is big. Chainlink, centerpiece of economic information between the United States and any blockchain. Let's go. Here now, so Chainlink getting all this revenue. This revenue is very important. What are they doing with the revenue? They're doing something very strategic. We see this all the time after, like, let's say a bank or something like that, JP Morgan, have an earnings call. The analysts put out what they think the earnings is going to be. The company put out its guidance of what it will be. And then the earnings happen. They either beat or they miss on terms of revenue, in terms of price to earnings per share, right? It's the EPS, earnings per share. A lot of times when they miss, what they will do is give better guidance about all the things they're going to do in the next 3 months to a year. And then they'll also announce buybacks, $25 billion buyback. What does that do? That makes investors happy. Why? Because it's essentially the company is buying the stock. And if you're the holder of this stock, your shares will increase because of the buyback. So let's get back to Chainlink. Reserve update. Today, the Chainlink reserve has accumulated 43,000 and some change link. As of September 11th, the Chainlink reserve holds a total of 280,000 link. And we're going to check this reserve.chain.link out. The Chainlink reserve is designed to support the long-term growth and sustainability of the Chainlink network by accumulating link using off-chain revenue from large enterprises adopting Chainlink and on-chain revenue from service usage. Keyword there, off-chain revenue. U.S. government money, all the different companies they're working with, they take all that revenue, they buy more Chainlink. That helps stabilize and pump the price for the Chainlink holders. That got me excited, right? And you can see Chainlink reserve update for 9/11. Now, if you go click that link, you got the Chainlink reserve. The Chainlink reserve is the strategic reserve of link funded via revenue from various off-chain and on-chain sources. So when they work with a DeFi protocol, remember these 6 protocols right here, getting the CCIP integration, the CRE integration, the data stream, price feeds, proof of reserves, they're paying for this. And them paying for this is part of that revenue that they're using to buy. So the USDC value of the reserve is about 7,280,000 links at an average link cost of $22.44. And with this happening, you can see that if they're having an average cost of $22.44 and link right now at the time of this video is about $24 plus, they're already in profit. They're essentially are going to be averaging up or down whatever happens. Very good for investors. But then you can see the transactions right here. Inflow September 11th. Inflow September 4th. It's 43,000. August 28th, roughly 43,000. August 21st, 41,000. August 14th, 44,000. August 7th, 65,000. August 7th, 1 link. And 1 link is probably because they were testing a transaction. So far, that's 1 full month and a half of them purchasing link. This is huge, in my opinion. And what I want y'all to do is check out what Sergey says. He's the founder and CEO of Chainlink, and he's been out in Washington. He's been making waves. But he is talking about the capital markets moving on chain, the world's capital markets. Chainlink is working with governments, central banks, and regulators to help align transactions with existing legal frameworks. Check it out.
Government and central bank officials are basically interested in 2 things. They're interested in their domestic economy growing through digital assets. They're interested in those digital assets getting purchased by capital from outside their country. They're interested in a growing ecosystem of financial activity using digital assets within their own domestic economy. So they're interested in economic growth. And part of that is domestic economic activity. And part of that is what's called foreign direct investment, the ability for capital to flow from outside of their domestic economy into it. So net new capital flowing in. And the second thing they're interested, quite candidly, is compliance, identity, various methods of assuring control over transactions in a way that they comply with legal requirements. Every central bank, every government basically sees itself as defining and enforcing laws. Those laws in many cases apply to how transactions work. And until the transactions in the blockchain industry can meet the standard of those laws, they won't be allowed to happen. And if they're not allowed to happen, then all the capital locked in the institutional world of that economy, which is the majority of the capital in the country, won't be on a blockchain, which is bad for our industry. If, however, you're able to make blockchain transactions work in a way that they do comply with the laws of that economy and that country and that central bank and that regulator, then the domestic financial growth and economic activity and the foreign direct investment as a result of the digital assets generated in their economy is attractive enough at this point to get them to do the work, to slightly change the laws, slightly redefine the rules, and encourage their domestic banks to launch digital assets, to make a stable coin, to make a tokenized fund, and to make it available for global and domestic consumption.
Sergi breaks it all down, and I wanted to put that out there for y'all to have something to really think about of what's happening with Chainlink, what's happening with data, what's happening with information, and it going on-chain to a blockchain and changing the whole financial and information system.
Passive income, gold in my dental, thank God for my mental. Investor fundamentals, told my girl it was simple.